Hey everyone, what's up? Dr. Tony Crone here, chiropractic physician at In Motion Spine and Joint Center. So today, I don't have any announcements, so we're jumping right into it. I'm gonna talk about low back pain. Thank you to coronavirus and quarantine, okay? So one of the most common things that we've been seeing in the past couple of months is patients coming in with that nagging low back pain. Well, what's been happening? We've been stuck at home, we've been working from home, so we've been sitting a lot, okay? So that is forcing us to stay in one position for an extended period of time, which our body doesn't like. We gotta move things up, we gotta shake things up, okay? So we've been seeing, like I said, a ton of patients coming in with that low back pain, and the number one thing that we can boil it down to is their increased sitting at home during this time. Unfortunately, we have to work with it because everyone in past has been limited to that. But what we can do here is we can definitely help. So like I said, low back pain, whether it's quarantine, whether it's coronavirus or not, that's one of the most common reasons people seek out chiropractic care. And even the American College of Physicians, other journals, they recommend chiropractors as kind of the first line of defense for that low back pain that they have going on. Okay, so what happens when we're at home, we're sitting typically in a recliner and some sort of soft surface, we don't have good back support when we're doing that, okay? So when we're sitting there for extended periods of times, we slouch, we get comfy, we're in front of the TV doing our thing, okay? So if we're staying in that position for 3-4 hours at a time, our tissues adapt to that. Okay, so then we get that strain, we get that low back pain from the lack of movement. Okay, so what we do in here is we find movements to kind of counteract that slouch position. We give you different exercises to try at home so we can just open things up, because like I preach every single week, that movement is medicine, okay? Everything we do in here is tailored to some sort of movement that can get your body and teach your brain that those movements are safe. And for this case, is moving frequently when we're forced to sit at home due to unforeseen circumstances, or just we have to do it with work. Okay, so my key with that is to move often. Okay, so my next point, as we're sitting and rounding in a poor posture because we're sitting in furniture that may not be conducive to this, or we're not standing and moving often, it forces us to round out our low back. Okay, so like I said, when we sit there for time, our back is just gonna adapt to those strains. So when we get up to move, ooh, we have those tight muscles, those aches and pains that we feel, and then that can linger on and lead to different things, whether it's symptoms going down the leg or it's just local in that back, which drives patients in here. Okay, so my 2 tips for you guys: when you're at home, you've been sitting at home, and hopefully you've been getting back into work as things are starting to kind of loosen up, lighten up. But if you are still having that back pain, 2 things that you can do. One is get up and move often. And as we sit here, we want to get that curve out of our back. So we want to find ways to open it. So every time you stand up, hopefully it's within an hour, every 2 hours, I want you to do some standing lumbar extensions just to get back in that opposite range of motion from what we're sitting in. Okay, the other thing is to find good ergonomics. Okay, so finding a good chair that you can sit in with back support, or whether it's standing and walking around and doing your Zoom meetings, whatever it is. But whenever you're sitting, I always recommend patients to find something to roll up, put behind their low back so it naturally holds them in that lumbar spine, that neutral position, or that slight extension, and we're not holding ourselves up with our muscles. Okay, so 2 things, devices that I recommend to patients is just rolling up a towel, taping it up, throwing it behind that low back there to keep you upright. Or if you have them in stock, grab a roll of paper towels again and put it behind that low back there so you can sit nice and upright. Okay, so those are 2 great things to keep the back moving, getting up often, to help with that low back pain. And there could be things that are still lingering on. And that's what we're great at in here, is trying to find the culprit. But those 2 things that you can take home and work on are going to be 2 great things just to keep you moving and to keep your joints healthy and your muscles relaxed. Okay, so with that, like I said, if you have lingering low back pain that's been going on thanks to this coronavirus and sitting at home, working from home with quarantine, do those 2 things. or give us a call and get on our schedule so we can kind of figure out what's going on and give you a game plan to work with, whether you're working at home or getting back into the swing of things to help reduce some of that low back pain. So with that, I'm going to leave you. Hope everyone has a great Wednesday and then a great weekend coming up. See you, everyone.